So you got the news you're getting a server merge. Well, congratulations. That's a good thing. And if it's your first server merge or your third server merge, we're going to go into it today and talk all about it. So let's go. Greetings, Commanders! Well, server merges are a big thing. A lot of people are a little bit hesitant. They like the server the way that it is. Maybe it was getting stale and stagnant. Maybe they had all the capitals on the world. Maybe they liked everything the way it was. But for the most part, players don't like not merging. You can only stay on a stagnant server for so long until enough people complain to the support team and say that our server sucks or it's boring or whatever, because of alliances usually. Usually servers get too stale because everyone turns into alliances so they can all grow together. It's not good for the game. It's not a lot of fun. People don't spend, and it doesn't promote growth. So they merge us. Not to mention servers are expensive, right? We have like 500 arcs on each server, and these servers have like a 50 millisecond response time. They're incredibly fast, expensive servers. So you can see the whole list of all the servers here. We are up to, the last time I checked, we had 80-something servers, and we just got an announcement that 18 are going to merge in 24 hours. Usually they give you a full week. They give you like an add leadership success event, and then they give you a week to merge. But we just had the second anniversary event. Everyone had it. So people are just getting merged. And we're going to try and get into the world map here. There we go. Stop touching everything. All right. And you can see all the servers from the top to bottom. And they're all just kind of laid out on a grid. And the oldest servers have the oldest servers have the lowest numbers. Every time you merge, you become the new highest number. So a server that's about to merge may become server 667, for example. But they may be filled up of guilds that could have been around since server 20. But not always. Sometimes like Planet 664, Planet 663, these are probably brand new servers that were just made in the last few weeks, full of newbie players where no higher levels can join. Eventually, those guys will bulk into one new server. It seems like, every week there's a new server that gets bulked in. But anyway, your servers may be one of those. I personally have merged 4 times, and I wanted to make this video because I'm getting a lot of questions about what to expect, what to do, where you should go from here, should you keep your guild. And the answer is really, it's different for everyone. This game is played different by everyone. Not everybody wants to be a pain in the boss's ass. That's how I play. I'm not the biggest, baddest dude, but I do pretty much annoy anyone that wants to fight me because I don't lose anything. I fight with rangers. But that's how I like to play. Some people like to play like the family guild. They don't spend a lot of money. They just log in and they just decide like, hey, so-and-so's getting attacked by this person. They're the villain today. Send all your resources to this person, and then whenever you can, try to find this guy and his tiles or this guild and their tiles. Some people play like that. Some people want to be the biggest, baddest dude. It all depends on how you want to play. And that's going to affect all your decisions in this game. But, getting back to what matters, and that is these server merges. So, of the 18 servers merging, and this video is going to be viewed by people not having a server merge and people that are watching it 6 months from now. In this current merge, 18 guilds are merging. 18 servers are merging. I don't believe all 18 are going to the same server. The server just doesn't have enough room for that many arcs. I believe those 18 are probably going to merge down to 3. And I don't know for sure. It's going to happen a little bit here. But it's the biggest merge I've ever heard of in our game's history. But our game keeps getting bigger, so things like this keep happening. Okay, so first off, let's talk about merges. And, I'll try to throw in my experience where I see it as appropriate. And I apologize in advance. This video is going to be a little bit long. And there's really no short way to make this video. You just have to add, not evidence, but like anecdotes. You got to put experience in it and explain what happens and how it goes down. So bear with me a second, and I'll try and lay this thing out so new and old players alike both get something out of it. First things first, did I say this yet? Don't panic. Merges are good. When the merge happens, the server gets shut down. It usually goes offline for about 20 minutes to an hour, depending on how well the migration goes. And they move that server, all the data on it, including your ARC's data, to a new server. And then eventually it goes back online and you can log in. And once you log in, your ship arrives on the planet. If you don't log in, your ship does not arrive on the planet. So if you're not sure you want to log in that night, wait till the next morning. I think that's how it goes. But you should be shielded anyway. So number one thing when you get to new servers, You may have a cool, peaceful guild where you have a lot of big, tough guys that don't go zeroing people because that's just not their thing. But of the other 5 or 6 guilds, there's going to be at least 1 or 2 of those guilds that just want to zero people and take nasty screenshots so they can share them with their guild chat in line. Avoid that by simply just having a shield. Always be shielded during a merge, at least for the first 2 weeks, right? You're going to get up there, you're going to get there, and 6 new guilds that were top guilds on their old servers are now going to be fighting for the capitals because all the capitals become available. You can see here, like, our capitals are all controlled, right? We all own our capitals, and they reset every 2 to 4 days or something like that. And that doesn't happen when you merge. When you merge, they immediately become available, and everyone starts fighting for them. Well, now they've changed the rules that if you're attacking an arc, you can't shield, so everyone's going to be speed. They're going to be spending a lot of gold, guys. If your guild doesn't waste money on speed marches and shielding, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. The first 2 weeks of Emerge, people are blowing through shields, blowing through speed marches. People will attack 6 times in a row and just re-shield an 8-hour shield every time. Attack, shield, attack, shield. Now, granted, they're speed marching too, which is 750 gold per 75% march. And it's a lot of fun for players that want to fight and want to spend gold, right? That's what this game is about, is fighting and spending gold. So if you're the type of person that's like, I don't want to waste my gold farming or fighting because I still have tier 5 and I need to get to tier 7, that's fine. Don't participate in the major war about to go down. Or if you are going to participate, everyone choose a fighter. Say, hey, so-and-so is going to be the fighter. Everyone send to Melt. Melt's going to be our fighter for the galactic battle. Load him up with black holes, rocks, bullets, whatever you're willing to risk, put it on his ship. And then you have one person who hopefully has no resources. They've zeroed themselves, or they sent all the resources away. They sent their best troops away to garrison someone else so they don't get zeroed on accident or get hit by someone, get zeroed on purpose or whatever. But basically they empty out so they can afford to take hits and really lose nothing, right? That's the idea. Is you garrison a ship that's like causing a lot of trouble, getting a lot of attention, and everyone just kind of baits people into attacking them. Now, you don't get anything out of this because it's the middle of the week. You got to do it on a kill event weekend to really get something out of it, and maybe you want to wait till the weekend to do this. But ultimately, if you do want to break into a new server and make a name for yourself, which a lot of people do, be prepared that you're going to get zeroed. It happens. It's a part of this game, and a lot of people get freaked out and they quit, and that's going to happen. The reason your server got merged in the first place is because people quit. After a server merge, there's not going to be 12 boxes. There's not going to be 15 and 14 tiles. You're going to be fighting for 13 and 12 boxes and 12 tiles. And for the most part, there's an unlucky. Yeah, see, there's a 14 tile, but it's partially empty. But for the most part, you can only get 10, 11, and 12 tiles. All the other ones just get taken up. So people are going to get frustrated by that and want to quit. The game drastically changes in a merge, so be prepared for it. And don't panic, right? That's the theme of this video. Don't panic. The game gets better. And then you have to decide what you're going to do. Do you want to stay in the guild you're in? Because the top 6 guilds that you guys, each server had a top guild, and all 6 of those guilds, assuming it's 6 merges, are going to end up on the server. And 2 months from now, those 6 guilds will not be intact. It'll probably be 3 guilds, maybe 2, or maybe and half of them become alt guilds. Because the lowest power players that haven't been participating much for the last couple months, they get knocked off to the new alt guild. So the 2 top guilds might decide to merge, and they'll say, anyone under 10 million power, you're going to the alt guild. If you want to get back into the guild, compete in the mobilization, do well in the weekly quests, and reapply. It's a new concept for this game. Not a lot of people have had to get on a waiting list to join a power guild, but you've been playing this game long enough, you're starting to realize there's a lot of money and a lot of time put into this game. And people do start demanding more out of their members. They start expecting people to be on wait lists, trial periods for the guild. And if you decide that you're going to start recruiting people to your guild, you don't have to give them permanent membership. If people say they want to join and say, hey, me and my 3 buddies, usually people buddy up, we want to join your guild. You don't have to say, yes, you can be members now. No, you say, all right, come on by for a week. Show us what you can do. We want to see what kind of people you are. And after a week, we'll talk amongst the officers, and we'll decide if we want to keep you on for another 2-week trial. At the end of the next 2-week trial, if they're good players, keep them. If you have a falling out with them, or you find out some of your members are actually toxic, you may want to purge your own members to take on new, better, bigger players. Because ultimately, the server you start with is not going to be the best possible group of guys you end up with. For example, I'm on my 4th guild since I started playing this game. My first guild was abandoned by our guild leader. Our first guild merged with the next top guild, and then during our next server merge, Our leader abandoned us a month and a half before the merge, and then the second leader stepped up, and then the night of the merge got in a couple of fights with the new bosses and actually quit. So all the rats abandoned ship. Me and a couple buddies were basically stuck with no options. We were sitting a dead guild. We were a level 3 guild fort. And we were like, well, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to, stay in what is now the alt guild, or do you want to try and apply to join the big guild? And can they take all of us? Are they full? And we shuffled over to the TNT guild after about 3 or 4 weeks. But it split up the guild. Members of my guild ended up, joining before or after I did. There was a lot of resentment for like officers or high-level players that were supposed to fight and defend the guild that abandoned ship. Even to this day, there's players that I refuse to get close to because I know these guys are snakes. Like, you just can't trust them. Anything they say is just to better their position of power with you, and they don't really care, which is fine. This is a war game, right? So I trust the people that I've gone to war with that I know in real life, or people that I've played a long time with. And there are those that I am familiar with in the game, but not necessarily, I don't necessarily trust them. They may be in my guild or whatever, but unfortunately, loyalties are fickle in this game. And that's something you need to know going forward, because you may be loyal and down as fuck, but not everyone in your guild is. And when the time comes, you may need to just ask them straight up, like, are you going to stay in the guild or are you quitting? And if they say they're staying and they quit 2 days later, fuck that person. That person's a piece of shit. Anyway, but that's the way this game goes, so be prepared for it. Okay, also remember, the first people to abandon a guild usually get dumped by the guild that picks them up a day or two later. Nobody likes a rat that leaves the ship early. What guilds really want, like if we did a server merge, what I really want is not the guy that has top 20 power and decides like, oh, I want to join your guild. Do you think we want somebody in the top 20 power that just leaves their guild immediately and joins us? They better have a really good story, like they destroyed their entire server and they were the only person on their server and they merged. If they have no friends and they totally abandon their guild and now they want to join ours, that's a problem. So those people get picked up just so that they don't get lost in the pool and we use them for a while, and they get dumped in a day or two. Just dumped. Because they're not loyal. They're just a problem person. There's a reason they don't have any friends in the game. So if that happens to you, don't get too mad. Those people are good to lose anyway. Just be sure to dump them sooner than later. They have a tendency of digging themselves into clingy players, or they'll donate a lot of resources to some low active players so that they'll vouch for them a few days in. You got to watch out for those people. They exist. If you guys know who I'm talking about, you know. Anyway, all right. Remember, the first 24 hours of a merge are mostly for the PvPers. It's just it's a madhouse. If you really want capitals and you want to fight for Centicon, if you want capitals and you want to fight for Centicon, do it. But don't do it the day of the merge too hard. Now, you can, right? Go nuts. If you want to go nuts and get zeroed and zero other people, you can. I do. I'll fight. But I want people to realize that's just the way merges go. It's like a grand opening. It's just like, what's that one movie where like the Saudi Arabian horses go off in the desert, Ring of Fire? I don't know. They all like start racing off into this super long endurance race, and then as soon as they're out of sight of the cameras, everyone starts slowing down back to their walking pace. It's just a high excitement moment. So usually within 24 to 48 hours, that all slows down. And a lot of people are going to quit and complain. And when they start quitting and complaining, don't let them bring other people down. A lot of people don't realize what this game is, or they realize what this game is and they're just little crybabies. This game is all about PvP, and it's all about losing your armies. It's all about destroying someone else's armies and laughing it off. I think that's the biggest thing, is like the very first time I got zeroed, I actually zeroed myself. It was a server merge. I went full march into a guy named Species. Good old friend, Australian friend. We became good friends after. I was brave, though, man. I was drunk on power. They gave us an ad leadership event. I had pumped my flare up to 2,400 leadership. So weak. And I had a bunch of tier 3 and tier 4, and I was like, I'm coming, baby. As soon as we merged, I had that Ares ship. I marched straight into his Ares ship. And he was sitting there with like a 14,000 chief with tier 5, and he just wrecked me. And I was just blown away because my hospital couldn't fit it all. I just lost all these troops. My power, plummeted. I had no resources to heal all my troops. So it was an embarrassing moment, but I realized this game's brutal like that. And looking back on it, I thought that was a big loss, but in reality, that's like a half a day's farming now. It's no big deal. I've lost a month and a half worth of farming in a fight. But that's part of the game. You fight and lose your army. So that's just something to be prepared for. I'm trying to primer you guys to realize that this is the most brutal and savage game you have ever played. and you know it. So when the game gets savage and you get wrecked, we all do, don't get mad. Just laugh it off. Remember who did it. Laugh, send him a laughy emoji. Tell him you're coming for him. Send a bounty out. Say, I got 500,000 cash. Anyone that can pull off more than 200 shadow matter off this guy. Do whatever you want, but don't get mad because that's what this game is. Also, the first couple of weeks of a merge is you're going to be shielded a lot. In other words, spend some gold, go to the Centicon. Shields really aren't that expensive, guys. A lot of people are like, you guys are shielded all the time. Yeah, we are, because we're always at war. People always want to zero us. And no, you might have noticed, but a few people recognize me, and it's like an honor to hit me now. So, haven't been hit in months, though, baby. Come and get it. Anyway, all right, I shouldn't be taunting people. Buy shields, guys. You're going to need them. Stay shielded. Set yourself. Remember, the 3-day shields are the cheapest. Of course, when you are shielded for 3 days, you can't hit other people, and you can't hit capitals, but you can garrison your allies, right? You can garrison your fort, you can garrison your allies without breaking your shield. So, you can still play with a shield and let people settle down. People are going to... The overall power of your server at Merge, you can count the total power. You can just go through the top 20 people, count it all up. And after 2 weeks, power is going to plummet because people are going to be trading armies. So after that, people start growing again. And it's going to vary. So I don't want to get too much deeper into this idea. I just kind of want to primer people because merges are the funnest thing. Everybody wants to merge. All the old servers, they can't wait to merge. We've gotten stagnant, but our servers spend, they pay for themselves. There's no point shaking it up because we're viable servers and we're making the game money. And even though some of us would like a merge, we also know that maybe not the best for everyone all the time. And every merge, you lose players. You gain a lot more players, more people may spend, but there is a player loss. So just be prepared for that. And remember, tiles, tiles, tiles. You don't get mad about not being able to farm tiles for the first couple of weeks. That just happens on every server. And if there's enough pressure, they'll add more tiles. They've done it before. So don't freak out about that. So that pretty much covers what I want to talk about in a merge. I mean, the other couple things I'll say is all the biggest guilds in the game are multicultural. In our line chat community, there are English, Russian, German, European, Asian representatives from every major top 32 guild. So if you're not comfortable with the idea of using a translator, just know that one day, if you're going to keep playing this guild, you will have a guild with 80 people, and maybe 50 of them at most are going to be from your region. The rest are going to be from other regions. They're going to speak different languages, and they're going to be online when you're not. They're going to be up in the middle of the hours of the night protecting capitals and fighting it out. So it's good to have those people. So if you haven't ripped that Band-Aid off and committed to a multicultural guild, do it. And don't be a racist. So, yeah. The game translator is not great, but if you use WeChat, that's a little bit better. Line is okay. And Discord, of course. I think Discord has built-in translators. That's different. What else? Yeah, I said don't be an ass. That's important. Don't be an ass. No one wants to be... if someone gets you good or you get someone good, no need to be a dick about it, right? I mean, have fun. If you make yourself too big of a target early on, no one will ever want to be in your guild. You will polarize yourself to a point where everyone unites under the fact that they may not have a lot in common, but they do have in common that they don't like you. That's a very human thing people do in this game, so be aware of that. And be careful of talking too much in World Chat. Definitely be sure to introduce yourself and find all the other people that are community members. If you watch this channel, you may be able to buddy up with some people that are like-minded or at least know about the game at a much higher level than most players. And, oh gosh, yeah, if you do decide to merge guild, make sure that you make it vocal with the leaders of those guild that you have a group of guys. You are loyal to those group of guys, and if you can't get all of them in at once, that's okay. Bring in one at a time and just say, I'd like to get one in every couple of weeks as people fall off or as people become dead weight. And guild leaders and officers should respect that. If they say, like, oh no, you either join us now and leave your friends or nothing, then fuck them. They're a bad guild. They're going to fall apart, right? I mean, you want a guild that recognizes that loyalty is important. They have some kind of structure. And if they're not sure how to get your friends in eventually, just say, hey, mobilization event. If anyone scores less than 30,000 in the weekend on mobilization event, they better have a good excuse. Either they're not playing because of a hospital or family, but if they're just a lazy player, they're dead weight. They're going to quit in a few months anyway. Dump them. If they want to come back, let them come back and reapply to the guild, but make room for players that want to compete. So, yeah, that's the merge video. I wish I could make it a little more organized and structured. I could probably do a little more Q&A stuff if there's something specific, but that pretty much covers it, man. I think if you were thinking the same thing or just wanted to hear someone else talk about their opinions on the merge, I hope my ideas, my experience helped you, and I hope you have fun. I hope your merge goes great. I hope to see a lot of replays and videos and stories. When we did our last merge, I put it all on Reddit day by day. Every day crazy stuff was going down. So there's actually a history of it in my YouTube channel and in Reddit. So we haven't had a merge, but I guarantee you the next time I have a merge, I got this channel all set up. It's going to be a much more televised affair. So, yep. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy your merge, and we will see you tomorrow? Live stream? I don't know. Probably not tomorrow. Most people are seeing this 6 months from now. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.